Yeah, I'm just really proud of the team tonight. The response from yesterday, the way they approached the day, the way they committed to the plan. Payton was phenomenal. It's just nice seeing color in her face again. But I just am really proud of the team. They showed a lot of fight and a lot of heart tonight, and ready to be tough tomorrow.
Questions for the student athletes? Ethan, go ahead.
Payton, Coach said it was nice to see color in your face again. Can you walk me through what the past, 30, maybe 48 hours have looked like for you?
Terrible. No, just kind of resting, recovering, just trying to get back to at least 80% as fast as possible. But yeah.
When did you start feeling bad?
Friday morning at 3 a.m. Yeah.
And so when did you get to the point, today that you knew that you'd be ready to go, and kind of what was that discussion like?
Just kind of when I woke up, I was just feeling a lot better. And then throughout the day, I started gaining more energy, and so I was like, oh, okay.
Well, clearly you had enough tonight, energy out there. Just what do you feel like for you working so well?
Just spinning it and then just feeding off the atmosphere. I mean, it was electric the whole day, so yeah.
Bri, what growth have you seen from Payton over the course of the season?
Almost like a completely new demeanor from her in the circle, and probably due to because being a freshman, you have the most growth throughout that year. And what I saw from her tonight was the most outstanding performance probably ever. And I've played for a lot of great pitchers before, and what she was able to do tonight and the confidence that she just exploded with on the field was what we needed, and we needed her to lead us tonight.
Yeah. For both of you, you had to flush yesterday's game and prepare for today. Now you're going to have to prepare for another game tomorrow. Just kind of what does that take from a mental perspective to be able to turn around with a loss and now with a win?
I think that we are more than prepared for it because we've been doing it all year. We prioritize taking it game by game, pitch by pitch. And so, it's just our every game routine really, where we flush it, win or loss, and get to the next day.
Yeah, I agree with her.
For both of y'all, your back's against the wall today. How important or meaningful was it to get 2 runs in the top of the first and set the tone there?
I think it definitely set the tone, and it kind of shifted the momentum throughout the entire game.
It was huge. It was. I always love being visitor because we get to do that, and we get to not only set the tone hitting-wise, but energy-wise, and we definitely did that today.
Payton, it seemed like as the game wore on, you really were starting to locate on that inside edge. I mean, how big was that for your success tonight?
Yeah, I think it just opened up a bunch of my other pitches at the same time. But yeah.
Bri, was it a relief to get a hit after a slump, I guess, for you?
Yeah, it was.
I guess, Payton, initially, what were your thoughts initially when you first started feeling bad? Was there a moment of that this can't be how it ends, or was there any doubt ever that you would be able to take the ball today?
I don't think there was necessarily. What?
It's like you weren't dying.
I don't think there was necessarily a doubt, but it was definitely when I first started feeling bad, I was like, uh-oh. And then I was like, as I started getting better, it was like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, your performance today came after Cam gave a really good outing yesterday. What do you think that it says about the freshman pitchers just to kind of be ready?
Yeah, I think Cam did amazing yesterday, and she picked us up when we needed it, and so I think that we just have a very complete staff.
Do we have questions on Zoom for the student athletes? All right, thank you, you two.
Good job, guys.
Go eat, cool. Thank y'all.
Do you need a bodyguard to get back in? Yeah.
All right, we'll take questions for Coach Deifel. Ethan, go ahead.
Yeah, Courtney, what were your conversations like with Payton, and when were you at a point you're like, okay, she's ready?
Well, my conversations were more with our athletic trainer, Andrew Kreis, who did an incredible job. Andrew and our doctors just giving them just the fluids they need, the nutrients they needed to just get back as fast as possible. So my conversations were with him more so because we just needed him to rest. And so we didn't want to keep peppering them from different angles. And Andrew was in constant communication with them. And so it was just, talking with him of just kind of tracking through the day of how they were feeling. And they're ready to go.
Yeah, y'all have won in a lot of different ways in the postseason so far, and that just felt like y'all just kind of scrapped the runs needed to win. What do you think about, I guess, the ability for the team to just find a way?
Yeah, it's huge. That's what you have to do this time of year. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And tonight, it was a phenomenal performance on defense, and our hitters did enough, and that's really all that matters. And those 2 runs that Wick hit in the end, they were critical, just to have a little bit more breath. But it takes what it takes. We've won in different ways all year, and today might have felt a little different, but it just felt really controlled emotionally, and just with our approach and everything, I was just really proud of the team.
Yeah, it seemed from my perspective one of the biggest crowds I've ever seen here. Was there any sort of just like soak it in moment?
No, it was all go mode tonight. But our players took a moment and went around the crowd when they were standing in line, and it was a really special moment. That was one of the most electric atmospheres I have ever been a part of, and our fans have been incredible for us. But they brought it tonight. They brought it last weekend too, and I hope they bring it again tomorrow. But it was special. It was special, and they were lifting our team, and our team was feeding off of that. It was incredible.
We'll go to the back first.
Hey, Coach, when you gave Payton the ball, what was your confidence level in terms of how many innings did you think you were going to get, and at what point did you realize, man, she has it in full tonight?
Well, the full confidence. I don't know what your scale goes up to, but it's the highest. I have a lot of confidence in our entire group, and we just felt like P was ready. Her stuff's been looking really good. It was nice knowing we had Rob too, and feeling good, and so it was just the decision for the day. But P took the ball and ran with it. She thrived in that moment, and she was exceptional tonight.
Bri talked about her growth as a freshman. What does it say about her to have that type of confidence in a moment like today?
Oh, well, it's huge. That's who P is. Like she's a competitor. She wants the ball. She wants the moment. You have to, if you're going to be a pitcher, you have to want that. It takes a special breed to do that, and she thrives in it. And I think she was just really excited to feel better. She doesn't like being on the outside, and even more so, she couldn't even really be around the team yesterday. She felt that crummy, her and Rob, and so she was ready, and she was locked in.
Kind of sticking with Payton, just in her 3 appearances in the NCAA tournament, she's been really good. Mm-hmm. Just how have you maybe seen her? Is there a different approach or anything, or how have you seen her kind of, I guess, rise to the occasion, if that makes sense?
Well, quite honestly, she's been really good for us all year. She's been really good for us all year. And so what I see is her trusting her stuff. I see her just being in attack mode, really just relishing the fact that she has one of the best defenses behind her, and just trusting her team, and just that. I can't even say peak confidence, because she's a really confident player. But this is what she's done for us all year, and maybe she has a fluke outing here or there. It's maybe not that ideal, and then she turns the page, she gets right back on track. But she's fought for us. She's a fighter. She's a competitor. So to me, I feel like I'm used to seeing it, because that's what she's done.
And is Robin feeling better as well, or is that just kind of wait and see? Or
yeah,
and
she
then,
is. I don't know what their percentages are. Look, tonight, like P felt 100.
And then just Bri getting her first hit of the NCAA tournament. Just how big is that for not just for her individually, but also for the team just as a whole?
Well, I think it's big. I think it's big for any of them to get hits. It's tough. It's tough. And so for Bri, with everything, I think sometimes she can just feel the weight of the world on her. And I think today we saw her smile, we saw her take a breath, exhaled a little bit, leaned into her teammates. And she got 1 hit, but she was right on 2 of them. So she looks like Bri, and I think more than anything, she just looks loose and having fun and just really enjoying the moment.
Evan, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, it seemed like in the first inning you score those 2 runs, you get the momentum and never really give it back. With that and combined with the atmosphere tonight, is that kind of how it felt in the dugout, that you kind of knew where the game was trending?
Yeah, I would say I felt like it was trending that way. This game changes quickly, so I think you're always just you're always doing whatever you can to just keep the momentum on your side. And so, yeah, I mean, I felt like with how in control P was with our defense behind her, it felt like they were going to have to put together quite a bit to get that momentum. It didn't feel like that was going to happen, but you just never know. But they stayed the course and they finished it.
Thanks, Coach.
Jackson, go ahead.
I guess Payton wasn't in the dugout with y'all yesterday, was she?
No, she was on her deathbed.
So, like, I'm just wondering, like, were there any lessons from how well Cam pitched at the end of the game yesterday? Did you make Payton go back and watch? Was she like, what was kind of the? Payton
slept most of the day. We were just trying to get some food in her belly. I would imagine in between throwing up, she was watching. I don't know. I didn't ask her what she went through in that moment. It was really important for her to sleep. It was important for her to rest and try to just keep drinking, getting fluids. And so she knew the report, she knew the plan. She was dialed and she executed at a really high level tonight.
Game 3 of a super regional, just what's the level of excitement? I mean, your backs were against the wall today, but now you're 1 win away from the Women's College World Series. Well,
I think that I'm excited and I'm proud of the team for putting us in this position. How we did that today was literally just being really present in the moment. They were loose. They were really loose, really just focused on what they wanted, and they're really tough. And that's what we challenged them with yesterday is, it didn't go our way yesterday, but the circumstance and how it ended and how they fought and everything they did, it was like, dang, I don't know another team that would be able to do what they did yesterday. I don't. And I just was incredibly proud of them. And so for them to turn the page from yesterday and show up today and play loose with their backs against the wall, but never feeling that from them was really special. And so they know tomorrow's about toughness. It's going to take a lot of guts and a lot of heart and a lot of toughness, and they'll be ready.
Your defense was dialed in tonight. The last 14 batters were retired, and you guys have also held them scoreless in the last 10 innings. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's hard to do. They're a really potent offense, but our pitchers have been really controlling the tempo really nicely. And when you can pitch so freely because your defense is so exceptional behind you, it's a really great feeling. And so, yeah, I felt every bit of what you're saying. In the moment, you don't necessarily feel it because you're just really trying to just be locked in on the next pitch. But they've been elite this weekend. So
I guess we've talked a lot about who hits behind Bri and the decision in that, but Reagan, another walk and a single in front of Bri. Just what makes her kind of the perfect hitter to hit in front of her?
Well, she is going to make you earn everything. She's going to make them work. She's going to see a lot of pitches. She doesn't stretch very often, and she's ready when it shows up. And so, in that moment, we want someone on in front of Bri, and both Reagans have done an incredible job at that all year. Very different style of play, but they have set the table for Bri to do what she's done. And so Jimmy's one of the most disciplined, most level, composed hitters that I've ever gotten to coach. And so she fits that role really beautifully.